Splatoon 3 is a direct follow-up to its predecessors with very similar and familiar gameplay, although it does come with some new upgrades and a much more robust single-player campaign. This means that, at its core, the gameplay in Splatoon 3 is very much as it has been in the past. And that is far from a bad thing, as this is a case of why fix what is not broken. Turf War is back again as the main multiplayer game mode, where 2 teams of 4 players compete to finish the match with more of their coloured ink splattered on the floor and walls. This is done using a variety of different weapons, starting off with the very basic Splattershot Jr. and branching out into different weapon types to suit every playstyle. As you level up, you will unlock the ability to buy even more weapons, which require Sheldon licenses, which are earned through gameplay. My personal favourites were the series of roller type weapons that provide quick and efficient ink coverage, while also being very useful in combat. My favourite moments were coming around a corner and hitting 3 enemies in quick succession with the roller before they even knew what happened. Strategy comes into play when picking out your go-to weapons, as some are more suited to spraying ink on the stage while others are more apt for combat. Finding the role that you're best at, especially if you're playing with a group of friends, is the key to victory in Splatoon 3. Each of the weapons has a special ability and a type of bomb that you can activate at certain points, with there being 15 total special abilities to choose from in the game. I was a bit disappointed that custom loadouts didn't make it in this time, as there are weapons like the Splat roller, which I really enjoyed using, but I wasn't a fan of the big bubbler ability that came with it. Having this option could have taken things to the next level customization wise, though it does make sense from a balancing perspective. One of my absolute favourite moments playing was when I used the tri-stringer bow and made my way behind enemy lines. I was able to make a path to the enemy team's base and kept on picking off players as they were trying to make their way back to the middle of the map, which allowed my team to really take over and dominate the match. Moments like this are what kept me coming back for more, as well as the lopsided defeats that also had me ready to get some payback. If you don't want to compete directly with other players, Salmon Run is back in Splatoon 3 as the game's Horde mode. You can either team up with friends or random players online to run through 3 waves of enemy and boss salmonids. Even though this can get overwhelming occasionally, I really do wish there was a harder option for this mode. The massive improvement this time around is that you're not limited to when you can participate in Salmon Run, because now it's available anytime you like. While multiplayer is the focus of Splatoon 3, the game also takes you to a place known as Alterna in the best single player campaign in the series to date. You play as a character known as Agent 3, and you're quickly introduced to a cuttlefish named Gramps. Like in the past, the single player serves as a tutorial of sorts, but this time around it feels like a more complete campaign, and it just so happens that it's teaching you really good skills along its 8 or so hours that it takes to complete. Functional servers are vital to any online-centric game success, and thankfully Splatoon 3, so far, has been trouble-free, with matches being incredibly smooth with no disconnections. But that was not quite the case for the main hub, unfortunately. While hanging around in Splatsville or in the lobby waiting for matchmaking, I was often presented with a disconnect message. This got frustrating when trying to do matchmaking, as it often happened when I had a solid team of players I came across online that kept playing, and I would lose them as a result of the disconnect. I suppose it's a good thing that this issue doesn't carry over into the matches, but hopefully this is something the development team can work on moving forward. Splatoon 3 builds upon the excellent foundation that was previously laid out by the prior 2 games, now offering the most balanced experience between its multiplayer and single player modes. Even though it may not be groundbreaking, the numerous improvements and the extra content in the game make Splatoon 3 the best entry so far. And that is the end of this review. Thank you, as always, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, do us a solid by hitting the like and subscribe buttons below, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.